Alrighty, so it's very early in the morning. I'm never up for this, but for whatever reason, I woke up in the middle of the night, and it's 6:30 in the morning. I know that the patch notes have still already been out since like 5 a.m., so like over 2 hours by the time this comes out. But hey, at least I'm a little bit early this time. So in a freak turn of events, we have LR Ludo CL Margaret, which is very odd. We have Blue Margaret is the new LR. Never would have guessed that they would have went this far into the reaches to choose an LR. So it is official. I have zero idea if there's any sort of pattern or anything like that. I think they're just going to choose whoever they want to at this point. So yeah, don't assume that there's going to be anybody. I guess at this point, we'll see. Hopefully, they do still kind of look back at older units and stuff like that, and they don't just skip over a whole ton of stuff. There is also a 600 banner for a new green Ellate, which is hilarious because we were literally just talking about green Ellate on the live stream last night, so we will look at what she does as well. Let's look at the banner really quickly. It is nothing insane, but there are a couple of decent characters in here, actually. Obviously, Margaret is not on here because she is a festival unit. It's also really bad for me because I just have such terrible luck getting Margaret as a pull. So my Margaret is, I think, 3/6, so she's not going to have a 6/6 ultimate, which really sucks because her ultimate at 6/6 does disable, and I don't have that. But either way, we have the new green Ellate. We have Demon, Cusack, and Chandler in here, which is kind of interesting. We have the original 3 Archangels. We have the Spring red Goddess Elizabeth, which is cool, I guess, if you don't have her. We have blue Camilla in here, and then a couple of catastrophes. Namely, we do have Crazy Roxy, which is actually kind of good that she's in the banner, I guess, if you're going to be summoning. I imagine a lot of you probably will not be doing that. So I did not realize that my Discord sounds were going to be on for this, but oh well. I think it's muted for the recording anyway, so it doesn't matter. We have Pure White Justice Celestial Ellate. Passive is Goddess's Aid. We have for every Goddess ally in the battlefield, increases Goddess allies' base stats by 5%, and for every buff applied to the Goddess allies, increases damage dealt of Goddess allies by 3%, maximum of 8 stacks, which is pretty good. This is basically the backliner that we were needing. Tristan can take a hike. We are done. So, skill 1 is a single target ult gauge removal, which isn't anything fantastic. And then healing, or number 2 is healing mist, and it is green Liz's heal. So at level 2, that means it'll have a cleanse, which is okay at best, I guess. Ultimate is the same exact thing as the old Ellate. It does work in the backline, so she's going to be like the new backliner. I don't necessarily know that this character would be like decent to run on like Nidhogg or anything. I assume you probably could, but because LR Liz is already a thing, you'd probably just want to run her instead because she's just way better. So you don't have to have a level 2 for cleanse or anything. She removes debuffs and everything like that, so, or removes buffs. So that would be much better. But she definitely seems like she could be good for the whole PvP thing. So that's great. There is the matter of Ludo getting the LR, which I think is very, very cool that they chose her. I mean, she was a very weird use case on release. She got a buff very shortly after she came out, which was very odd to see. But yeah, we obviously have her as the new LR. I love that her armor is very reminiscent of the original Ludo CL armor. It's just kind of like, you know, fitted to the sort of female physique. So what does she do? I have not looked at this yet myself. So Covenant of Light Ludo CL LR. Passive is Distort Holiness. Increases Goddess allies' basic stats by 8% for every time an ally uses a stance or buff skill, max of 40%. Also, for every debuff removed by using this unit skills, increases Goddess allies' crit chance and crit damage by 4%, max of 20 times. So, or max of 20%. So, I don't remember exactly if this is the exact same as it used to be. Let me look up and see, because I doubt I doubt Grand Cross Database is going to have any of the LR stuff on here yet. Yeah. So let's see. It is about... Okay, so it was 8%, a maximum of 5 times, which I'm pretty sure is also 40%. So it looks like this is the baseline thing. So they just made it to where if you remove debuffs from yourself or allies, you gain crit chance, crit damage, which is actually pretty cool. I can get behind that. Holy Blade, which used to just be a charge skill, charge AoE, now inflicts charge damage equal to 143% of attack on all enemies and applies a debuff that reduces 20% of critical resistance. So I was kind of hoping that she would be... I mean, they did bump up the numbers, I guess, a little bit. It used to be 130, now it's 143. I was kind of hoping that she would be a little bit more of a damage dealer, but lowering crit resistance is actually pretty strong. The problem with this is exactly what I feared. I was expecting that if they did make a Goddess LR that lowers enemy stats, the problem with that is if you go up against another... Goddess team that is running Mael, which is very, very likely, because why wouldn't they be? You're not going to be able to stat lower them. So this, although, like, you know, they did buff the charge card a little bit, the debuff that it applies isn't going to necessarily be the biggest deal when facing other goddesses. So that's a little bit odd, but it looks like it's 20% at level 1, 30% at level 2, and 50% at level 3. So pretty nice, honestly. Being able to crit and stuff like that is very important in this meta, in this game after like year 2. So yeah, Breath of Bless is the other one, which used to just remove debuffs and then increase damage dealt and decrease damage taken. Okay, so it looks like they didn't change it at all, I guess, at level 1, because it says no chance. And then they just increased the modifier maybe on levels 2 and 3. So it used to be 40% increased damage dealt and then 30% increased damage taken. Now it increases basic stats by 20%, which used to only be on level 3, and it increases the enemy's damage dealt, or allies damage dealt by 60% and damage taken, or decreases damage taken by 30 or 50%. God, I'm all over the place today. Oh no, that's on level 3. I'm stupid. So it's not even really that big of a change for the buff card, actually, because it's 50% and 40%, whereas it used to be 45 and 30. Okay, so I mean, it's really not that big of a change. They just tweaked the values on it a little bit. They actually didn't do anything extra, which I guess is fine, because this is a really strong card in general. This is one of the biggest reasons why you run Margaret anyway, so that's kind of weird. Ultimate is Opening Greeting, which, if you don't know, used to block skill effects at 6/6, and then decrease ultimate move damage by 30%. But it has Sever on it, so it's just a Sever ultimate. Now it is Apply debuff that increases damage taken by 50% for 2 turns to all enemies and blocks all skill effects, including those of ultimate moves, and decreases damage dealt with ultimate move damage by 30% for 2 turns, excludes stance and recovery skills. So, yeah, I can only assume that's gonna be at 6/6 if I had to guess, which really sucks because I'm not gonna be able to take advantage of that. But yeah, not the character that I was expecting here. I really didn't think that they would go that far forward and choose Ludo. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but why would you not do the older goddesses first, you know? Another thing is we have new monster battle mode, Proof of Courage. We have a brand new game mode with the demonic beasts, which is crazy. We now have a Creature's Nest section here that has been updated. I think we already had Creature's Nest there, but now it shows this weird gate. So, yeah, how to proceed. There are 3 difficulty levels: Demonic Beast, Great Demonic Beast, and Super Demonic Beast. You can form a single party and participate in battle against the 3 monsters that appear. So you fight Hrosvelgr, Icthernir, and Skull and Hati. So the bird, the deer, the dogs. If you clear Skull and Hati on each level, or on each difficulty level, you can challenge the higher difficulty. So you got to start with, it seems like you have to start with the lowest one. So regular demonic beast, and work your way up to super demonic beast. If you want to challenge the next difficulty level, you can form a new party. And then it looks like these are the materials that you get in for the exchange shop. It doesn't seem like anything too crazy. There is a new title for it as well, Demon Beast Slayer. I'm assuming it's going to be a Demonic Beast Slayer. But if you get these, I assume these are the lowest tier ones. You can exchange them for some cards, which is fine, I guess. I don't know if they're coming out with a new card set or not. It looks like this is a new card set. No, these aren't a new card set. This is just the cards in general. And then if you can beat the middle one, you can grab up to 2 UR pendants and some cosmetic upgrade materials, which I guess is cool. I assume these are for the cosmetic enhancement materials are going to be for upgrading holy relics. I didn't think that they were dropping this game mode just yet, but I guess that's cool. And then if you can beat the top one, it looks like you can grab the stones from the different demonic beasts, grab a couple of SSR pendants, and grab some hammers. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the top difficulty. I really don't know. Yeah, okay, so it looks like this is the top difficulty, because I was going to say, why would this be the top if these have SSR pendants and this one already has UR pendants? But, okay, kind of interesting. I'm not 100% sure how it's... I mean, I assume you just fight them in succession, but I guess we shall see what kind of teams people come up with this. So this actually should be a really very interesting week, because we're getting a new LR, we're getting a new Ellate, which is going to be good for the Goddess team, and we're going to be getting this new game mode. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people should be summoning for Ellate, because one, if you skipped Mael at the beginning of the year like some people did, you probably don't have the full team for it anyway yet, and the next banner after this is supposed to be the November Festival banner, so I don't really recommend it. But, I mean, she does seem pretty cool. We will definitely be summoning on the global account. Leona's Grand Banquet. It looks like we're just going to be getting some sort of like small rewards and stuff like that through different events. Decent amount of Super Awakening coins, which is kind of nice. Some other stuff. From my understanding, I did see something where they apparently updated Heroes Arena a little bit with some extra rewards. Looks like we're getting the demonic cricket grasshopper thing back, which is cool. We haven't had him in a while, actually. So we're actually getting quite a bit of content here. So Heroes Arena Season 4, improvements, rewards that can be earned will be added depending on the number of defense towers defeated each week. So I assume that this is just very standard, because you can normally, each tower, or like each person that you fight has 5, or no, towers each week. Defense teams defeated each week. So yeah, there's a total of 15 defense teams in general, because each character that you fight has 5 teams. So if you just beat all 3 players' teams, which is 15 for the week, you get extra rewards here, which I guess is cool. You get 10 extra of these coins. So that is 1 LR seal. I guess that's fine. I mean, it's not anything like super crazy or anything, of course, but you know, I guess we'll take that. So nothing too crazy. Maybe I'm just not reading that quite right, but it doesn't seem like anything super crazy. I'll take it. It's nothing fun, you know, weird. New combat event, 2 new combat events actually. And then it looks like we have some things here. Fixed an issue where the game would freeze when Infinity Merlin used her special move. Okay, very cool. And then fixed an issue where the effect was not applied when material fragments used the skill Seeding Pain in Super Boss Ludo CL. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Very, very interesting week ahead of us. We have new events, we have new LR, we have new banner, we have new game mode, so should be a pretty fun time. Definitely interested to see people play this on JP tomorrow. And a lot of the whales and stuff like that sit on max LR coins, basically, so should end up probably seeing some showcases for Margaret as well. So it looks like the Goddess team is all of a sudden maybe back in the meta, which is kind of cool. So I think it's going to take me 2 weeks before I can even grab the coins from my LR, but we will probably be able to showcase on Gon's account if I had to guess. So stay tuned for that, of course. But yeah, I don't know. Very, very interesting patch notes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, of course, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Goodbye.